most excited about feeling what I felt when that buzzer went off again and again and again, and even more. I'm really, it's you work all these hours we put in. It's for these type of emotions. Like I want that. I want to win so bad. It's like my life depends on it.
Your San Antonio Spurs are the new NBA Western Conference champions, and their NBA Finals bound to take on the Knicks. Welcome to a live show of Spurs in Focus right here on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, YouTube Music, YouTube itself. You got to go subscribe right now. Substack as well, Spurs in Focus Substack, completely free. Sign up today. I am your host, Jeff Garcia, longtime Spurs writer in San Antonio. The guy next to me is the legend himself, Rudy Campos of The Sports Answer. He is on X at The Sports Answer. I'm on X at Jeff G. Spurzo. You heard Victor right now. Yeah, your San Antonio Spurs did it. They go to OKC, Game 7. They pull out the win. We're going to be discussing the win, takeaways, general observations, what went right for the Spurs. Anything go wrong for them? Maybe little things, but more right than wrong. And then get into NBA Finals. Not a preview, just our thoughts, general thoughts. We're going to do a preview show later on this week on the rematch of 1999 Spurs Knicks, and then get into your comments, my big takeaways, Rudy's big takeaways. Rudy, I suspect everybody's not sleeping tonight in San Antonio.
What's the Saturday?
Yeah, I suspect people are going to wake up hungover, and there'll be a lot of viral clips going live about what happened on Southwest Military Drive tomorrow morning. It is going to be a party night in San Antonio and across the globe if you're a Spurs fan. Yeah, Rudy, can you believe it? The Spurs win the Western Conference Series 111-103 over the defending, or no longer the defending champs, OKC Thunder. Take the series 4-3. Right off the bat, Rudy, my thought was this. They did exactly what it was to do. What was one of my keys to a win in our preview show? They got to come out and strike first, strike hard, no mercy. They did exactly that. They were the aggressors. They were the ones coming out, firing on all cylinders. It was the Spurs, your San Antonio Spurs, coming out, winning the opening frame, 32-25. They set the tone, just as they had been doing since about Game 3 to Game 7. How many times have we seen the Spurs break out to big leads to start the game? We saw it again. Once they did that, Rudy, I knew it was likely going to be a Spurs win. Your thoughts?
Absolutely. I mean, the times that they've gotten off to a fast start, the biggest key was Wemby. You know, Wemby set the tone early. He didn't score 20 points in that first half, but he did set the tone early. He did put his stamp on the game. Everybody else got involved. It just got off to a very fast lead. And something that one of our counterparts, Derek Gervin, mentioned a lot to me while we were texting in the game was you can only play from behind so many times before fatigue sets in. And that's exactly what you saw with OKC. They got behind again in this game, early in the game, and you saw fatigue starting to set in. I mean, you saw McCain, you know, got a little hot a little while there, but his fatigue set in. Chet Holmgren just, again, disappearing act. It's just Spurs got off to a massively good start. You saw the run by OKC. They were going to make a run a few times during this game. But, man, the San Antonio Spurs, that defensive presence that they had, they played outstanding basketball. That's the reason why they are your Western Conference champions.
That's right, yeah. By the way, in case you didn't know, you probably already know, Victor Wembanyama is the Western Conference Finals MVP, so he picked up that hardware after the game. But I was so sure the Spurs won the game. I texted Rudy around halftime-ish, maybe early third.
It was third, like mid-third.
Late third? All right, around late third, I said, Rudy, it's over. It's over. It was done. And how did I know that? Because I saw the Thunder have no help for SGA. SGA had himself, like, I think the closest he got to a signature game. He had a good game.
Yes.
But, I mean, if you're a Thunder fan right now, you probably want to jettison Chet Holmgren out of OKC right now. It was just a no-show. He has fear of Wemby. I don't care if you are in favor of him, just take it at him, especially when he picked up foul 5 late in the game. Chet should have done that, but good for the Spurs, right? Chet didn't do that. It's anybody. It was a great game almost from start to finish. Now, the Spurs did kind of ease up a bit. They allowed the Thunder to come back, actually take the lead in the second half from the Spurs. But another general takeaway, Rudy, was just how many times they responded. Every time OKC punched back, they had a counter punch.
Mm-hmm.
Asa Wallace hits a three. Keldon Johnson hits a three. McCain gets hot. Champagnie gets hot. Wemby is Wemby, and SGA was SGA. They pretty much cancel each other out. But what I loved is the Spurs. They had help for Wemby. It wasn't just the usual suspects, your Castle and your Harper and your Fox. It was guys like Luke Kornett, Keldon Johnson, Julian Champagnie. Those guys stepped up. You had help all around. So even though Wemby didn't have a flashy statistical box score, it was subpar for his standards, but he didn't need to play all out because he had so much help. Rudy, yeah, I look at this game 7, and I started to think maybe Mitch and Wemby is right. Experience, whatever. This team has the goods right now, Rudy.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. We all said they were a very inexperienced team. Beginning of the season, majority of us had them as a 5th or 6th seed.
Yeah.
44, 45 wins, to go into the season. When they started playing, and they started getting, great as a team, I mean, you started to see the chemistry, you started to see the camaraderie, you saw the coaching staff make a lot of different changes. It just felt right during the regular season. We were all expecting the wheels to fall off in the regular season, Jeff. I've said that a ton of times this year. There's going to be a time maybe the wheels fall off. They never did. This team didn't lose more than 2 games in a row. You talk about experience. Name me another team with this little experience that goes an entire season without losing more than 2 games in a row, that goes into a first playoff experience for majority of the team, gets down by double digits on the road to Portland in 2 games, bounces back, gets those wins, handles a very tough Minnesota team, throws them around like rag dolls for a lot of those losses that they had. Minnesota goes into OKC in a game 7 environment and quiets the crowd from the opening tip to the last buzzer. They fought very, very hard. Forget the experience talk. This just shows that when you put a great team around a great player, success is not even around the corner. It's staring you right in the face.
Rudy, I live in downtown San Antonio, and right now I hear fireworks going off, cars honking, cops, sirens blaring right now. So there's some shenanigans already happening. It is party central right now in San Antonio. You probably can't hear it, but trust me, I can hear it from my window right now. Even my own apartment complex went crazy here in downtown San Antonio. Yeah, everybody's celebrating, rightfully so, because in game 7, this Spurs team looked like they didn't have any butterflies. They came out on fire. They were hitting shots. They were establishing a lead. They were getting contributions from Vassell early, obviously Wemby early. Castle is still being aggressive, not afraid to attack the paint. It was just, for me, Rudy, it was almost like it's another day in the office. I didn't see any type of nervousness with this young Spurs team. Your thoughts?
No, man. I mean, the nerves on this team, it's, dare I say, it's Iceman-esque. I mean, shout out to George Gervin. I mean, there is nothing but ice running through these guys' veins, man. And it's funny because, I mean, we talked a lot in the regular season, and I was telling you a lot of times, Jeff, the fact that this team is not a normal team. It's not a normal young team. It's not a normal inexperienced team. Every time they lost, they bounced back. Whether they lost 2 in a row, they knew what they did wrong, and you would see them bounce back in a big time way. That loss in game 5 for San Antonio was probably the biggest eye opener for them, because why? There's no tomorrow. Something we mentioned the other day. There is no tomorrow. They came out in game 6 and they just stuck it to OKC. Coming out in game 7, you fully expected OKC to just come out and show why they are an NBA champion. And the San Antonio Spurs took every punch. It was Drago versus Rocky. They took every single punch from a champion. They didn't flinch at all. That was the turning point of this series, was game 5, knocking the Spurs on their ass, them coming back in 6 and 7 and showing why they are the better team, and they have been the better team in this series, the entire series.
Yeah, SGA after the game did say that the Spurs were the better team. He said the Spurs,
Mhm.
in his opinion, were a very great collective group of guys. He even said to beat the Thunder, you got to have that type of level of talent and passion and want to win. So he definitely tipped his cap to the Spurs. As a matter of fact, you saw during the game, even the last few seconds, he already walked over, kind of pulled an Anthony Edwards,
Yeah.
and was already congratulating the Spurs for their victory. And it was such a great sight to see. You know, you saw Wemby, as he notices the final buzzer's about to go off, he just crumbles over and pumps his fist, and some tears flew for him. You had Keldon going crazy, Devin Vassell soaking it all in.
Mhm.
The team was just cheering. They deserved it. And I like what Mr. Johnson also said after the game, going back to experience. He said, the experience is happening already now. I'm paraphrasing here. So the experience is happening is as we speak. He goes, they got experience versus the Blazers. You brought it up, getting down by 20 point twice in 2 games in a row and learning from that. And learning from the Wolves series, learning from this now no longer a series, West Finals versus the Thunder. So he said the experience was kind of learning on the fly, and they're definitely doing that. Obviously, the journey's not over yet. There's still 4 more wins, first to 4 now, to be crowned. But they certainly deserve the right to soak it in, at least for tonight, before they have to get back to business tomorrow. And I forgot too, really, game 1 of the finals is in San Antonio. I kept thinking it was in New York. No, it's in San Antonio.
Yeah,
So
some media people need to remember that because all I heard was, "Oh, they're going to New York. They're winning." Come on, guys. You're working in media. You should know.
it's that big media thing, Rudy. Media market. It's in New York.
Big media.
Yeah, man, I lived in New York, man. So sorry, Knicks. I can't root for my second favorite team. I got to root for the home team. But anyway, going back to game 7, though, you look at some of the numbers here, and they won, the Spurs, that is. What the quarter 3 was the one that got interesting, because that's when I had texted you around that time. I was like, oh, I think it's over. I think it's over. You're like, well, you weren't there yet. You weren't there in agreement with me.
No,
But
I
your
wasn't.
colleague, Derek Gervin, also called it. I think around the same I did. I said, it's over. And I think you said, Derek said, yeah, that's game already. It was evident, Rudy. It was so evident that this team, the Spurs, were in control of this game. They were from top to bottom. The only drawback I don't like is that they were getting out rebounded pretty mightily for most of the game until they cleaned that up late in the game. But you see this, Spurs won quarter 1. They lost quarter 2. They tie quarter 3 with the Thunder, and then they cruise in quarter 4, 31-26. They eventually did out rebound the Thunder 40-38. And one thing for me too is just minimal turnovers. They only had 12 for the game, which is phenomenal. That's good. I really thought that was going to be an issue. I thought they're going to be trying to force a lot of stuff, trying to hit home run balls, just trying to do so much in a game 7 that they may show their inexperience by trying to do too much, but they didn't. You had 12 turnovers. And one of the best moments of the game was when Castle took offense to Caruso's hard foul. And Castle looked like he was ready to throw versus Caruso. And you see young Dylan Harper run, throw himself on the court, grab him like a bear hug, and we're just laughing with him and pretty much telling him, look, they already called a foul, move on. I think that was key, because if Castle had lost his cool, who knows if he would pick a tech or probably worse, got him ejected.
Probably ejected.
So, yeah. He was ready to let's rock and roll. And luckily for that, the young teenager who was the one thinking calmly, not like Castle, who was fuming. But I get it. Look, you're the one who got hit. Obviously, you're not. You got to take offense to that. The Spurs' biggest lead was 14, while the Thunder biggest lead was 4. It was just, I don't know. It was kind of a quasi lopsided win. Would you agree? It was pretty much the Spurs throughout the game. Even when the Thunder made their runs, Rudy, I never thought that the Spurs were not in control. Even when the Thunder regained the lead, I kept on telling myself they're going to answer back, and they did. Your thoughts?
I agree with you up until a point when you texted me, and I think even Derek texted me, this game's over. And I said, no, not quite. And as soon as y'all did, we saw a turnover by Castle. We saw a turnover by Harper. We saw a 3, I believe, by McCain, and then the 3 by Wallace. So that was already a 6-point swing. And you've kind of felt like, okay, now they're only up 6 at the time. That's why I don't call games early, because OKC has the firepower to just turn any double-digit lead back into a a close game, whether it be a point or possibly take the lead. So once I saw the turnovers happening, I was like, man, they got to get a stop. They got to get a stop. Credit to Mitch Johnson taking a key timeout right there. Once he took that timeout, settled the guys down, then it was pretty much game over. I mean, there's one play that one of your questions, the play of the game or whatever it was, it's going to be the most standout thing for me, and I'll mention that later. But once I knew that happened, then I knew the game was definitely over when that one play happened. So, it's never over till it's over, Jeff, but you are right, and Derek is right as well. Once this team got off to a fast start, they seemed to have an answer for every OKC basket, and that was key. What I do credit was that they attacked the basket and drew fouls in certain parts of the game, especially in the fourth quarter. There was a lot of times Wemby would take a mid-range jump shot and Jalen Williams would foul him. That's what you need to get called on your end. You need the Spurs to get those kind of calls because it slows the pace down. It sends Wemby to the free throw line. It adds up a little bit more shot clock. It takes a little bit off the game clock as well. Very smart plays by the Spurs staff and the coaching staff. Great job, man. I mean, they had a terrific game plan. It wasn't in doubt, I feel, but again, you don't ever know, man. Nobody can tell the future except Rudy Campos Jr.
Of course. Yes, of course.
I'm sorry.
But, Rudy, also, too, they say in games like this, especially at Game 7, when both teams already know each other's playbook pretty much inside and out, it comes down to the little things, the extra effort things, the 50-50 balls. Who wants it more? And the numbers definitely show that. So offensive rebounding went edge to the Spurs. They have 15 offensive rebounds to the Thunder's 10. What about steals? They had 9 steals for the night. We talked about the turnovers, minimal turnovers, 12 to the Thunder's 14. You look at this too, points off turnovers. That has been a base issue for the Spurs, but in Game 7, it was the Spurs exploiting the Thunder. 19-9, a huge edge for the Spurs in points off turnovers. So you look at stuff like that, even fast break points, just getting out and doing what you do best, Spurs, which is just going out with up that pace and get on the break. 19-7 Spurs edge. To me, those numbers show me the want, the will that we're going to win. We're going to do all we can do and play to our strengths, in this case, fast break points and getting up downhill fast. That led to a Spurs win. The Spurs led pretty much for the entire game, everybody. They led for 44 minutes and 20 seconds. The Thunder, they led for 1 minute and 38 seconds. It was the Spurs were complete control of this game from jump to pretty much the end of the game, except for that third period where the OKC Thunder made their biggest push. But even when the Thunder made their biggest push, it just wasn't enough. Rudy, would this series have been different if they had a healthy AJ Mitchell and a healthy J-Dub?
Man, you asked me right now, would my wife ask me after the game or towards the end of the game, would those guys have made a difference? Yes. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. AJ Mitchell more than J-Dub would have made a huge difference. Towards the end of the season, AJ Mitchell was playing magnificent basketball. As a matter of fact, when Derek and I talked about this series, he said AJ Mitchell was going to be the difference for OKC. So that shows you that the Spurs caught a break with AJ Mitchell getting hurt and being out for the series. I think if AJ Mitchell plays, we probably see a different outcome when it comes to this series as well. But yeah, those two guys being out did hurt OKC, but AJ Mitchell more than J-Dub. Williams is, they call him the second best player on OKC. He can be the second best player on OKC, but there's a lot of times where Williams doesn't go Chet Holmgren, but he's not everything you would expect him to be. So again, I think with his lingering injury all season, he wouldn't have been a factor no matter what, whether he played or not. And you kind of saw in those 2 games that he did play against San Antonio. I do want to give a shout out, Jeff, real quick here. Okay, so we have some Thunder fans in here, and I want to give a huge shout out to SGA, man. You called him, a superstar game. He can't have a signature game, and he did. And I give him credit because this was an MVP performance by Shea Alexander. There was no flop. Every time he went down on the play, he got, they didn't make the call. They swallowed the whistle. There was a couple of plays, and shout out to Joel because Joel, he was DMing me during the game. He says, he's going back to flop. And I said, no, those 2 calls, man, those 2 calls that they gave him were legit fouls, and the Spurs even knew it. shout out to SGA. I dogged on him for winning the MVP this year. I still don't think he was the MVP of the season, but in this game, it shows why, he is always in that MVP talk. So shout out to him.
Yeah, exactly. And you look at the free throw, it was pretty much even. The Spurs went to the free throw line 19 times. The Thunder went 22 times. But again, how much does the little things matter?
Mhm.
The Thunder missed, was it five free throws or 6 free throws? Yeah, 5 free throws.
Yeah, 5 free throws.
That would have been the difference of the game right there. It would have been either a tie game or they don't need to go for a 3. So those little, and you saw SGA missed 2 free throws. He's money at the free throw line. He misses key ones. Chet misses them. It was kind of unexpected. And what I couldn't understand too is every time the Thunder had the Spurs on a potential fast break, they walked it up. That was baffling to me. They did that several times.
Yeah.
And then you heard the commentators during the TV going like, run, like go. And
They played slow.
Walking it up, Rudy. I was scratching my head.
Yeah, they played slow, and it's weird because the Thunder, I mean, they're a team that likes to get out on the break. They thrive off of turnovers, off of steals, and getting out on the break. And whether it be shooting a 3 off the break or just getting to the basket, that's what they thrive off of. And we didn't see that at all in this series. It's almost like they changed their game plan to try to defeat San Antonio in a half-court game. And when you're one of the best defensive teams in the league, the one thing you don't want to do is play a half-court game with them.
Yeah.
And that kind of confused the hell out of me, is why OKC went from run and gun basketball to let's play slow, let's take the time, let's run the clock down. Again, I mean, a team that I can't remember what they averaged in the regular season, but it was close to 120 points. They hit that maybe like 2 times in this series. I mean, held under 100 points twice in this series.
Yeah.
They just didn't have a game plan ready, and I think the game plan that they did have just did not work against San Antonio.
Yeah.
Credit to Mitch, man. I mean, he changed the game plan a few times throughout this series and have benefited San Antonio.
Yeah, for the series, the Thunder were averaging 109 points per game. In the loss to the Spurs, 103, so a little below their season averages in points per game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Spurs were right out there. They did 111. For the series, they were 112.7. So you look at how big was Game 7, and did you see any area where this team, Spurs, up their game? Well, they pretty much were playing at their numbers here. You didn't really see some sort of big significant jump except for 3-pointers. All right. Let me go ahead and give you my keys because that's on my list of key takeaways from this game and pull them up here for everybody. Unless I forgot to load them up. Yes, I did. All right. I'm going to put it up here for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all can check it out. But that definitely was on my list right there, which is the 3-shot. How much the 3-shot was falling for this team tonight versus the Thunder. And especially for Champagnie. Mitch Johnson called him an unsung hero. Without his production, especially from the 3 line, this Spurs team probably is in a more of a dogfight than they were throughout the game. The 3 shots were falling on the night. That's my first big takeaway. The Spurs, they connected on 17 of 43s, shooting for 43%. Talk about the series average, 34%. They upped that big time. Again, thanks in large part to Julian Champagnie, who on the night finished with 20 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 37 minutes, 6 of 11 shooting from the field, and goes 6 for 10 from the 3 line. You needed that type of production from him. Every time he gets cooking, the Spurs are tough to beat. And once again, it proves it. Second key takeaway from the Game 7. Spurs were the aggressors. We established that. They were the ones coming out, punching and swinging like Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Like, what's that character's name? Little Mac? They came out like Little Mac. And just slugged everybody on that Thunder team. So good one for there. And one thing we're not talking about, we're going to hit on it now. Everyone who played contributed. It didn't matter if you were the 6th man like Keldon Johnson or going deep in the bench like Luke Kornett. These guys contributed for the game. Everybody was in the plus except for Harrison Barnes, but he didn't play that much. But nevertheless, You had contribution from Champagnie, as we established. De'Aaron Fox finished with 15 points. Dylan Harper with 12. Keldon Johnson off the bench with 11, and huge, big 3-point shots that fell in the second half. Devin Vassell with 11. Luke Kornett, again, not a big flashy stat line, 2 points, 4 rebounds, but great defensively, especially that block on Hartenstein when the game was on the line. Even Carter Bryant, he was a +2 on the night with 2 points and a rebound. Everybody contributed. Wemby got help. I'm going to leave this up here for you to react. Rudy, your thoughts?
Yeah, your takeaways, the 3 shots were falling. And of course, I mean, they ended up shooting 17 of 40 for 43%.
Yeah.
That was a key, when I told you last game where we're not going to see OKC shoot 25% beyond the arc and then 37% from the field. Tonight, OKC shot 34% from beyond the arc, 45% from, from the rest of the field. And that's what I was telling you. The Spurs have to match them. They weren't going to come out and shoot flat in game 7. There's no way Spurs did that. And, it started at the 3-point line, man. Champagnie got hot. That's the guy you needed. Keldon Johnson hitting 2 big 3-pointers at the end of the game there. Dylan Harper shooting a couple of 3-pointers and making them as well. De'Aaron Fox knocking down threes. People are always asking about where's Fox? He's knocking down a 3-point shot was one shot you don't want to fall in love with if you're an NBA team. But the Spurs were able to knock them down tonight. That was a massive key. Spurs are the aggressors. You saw from the tip, man. Wemby, I believe, had 8 points at the end of the first quarter. We were saying if they can get between that 8 to 12 point range, that the Spurs are going to be tough to beat. He got in that range that we talked about. And as you can see, they were leading after the first quarter, 32-25. The thing is that they had to come out and be aggressive. And it wasn't just him. It was the entire team. You saw De'Aaron Fox get in the mix. You saw Julian Champagnie knock down a 3. You saw Devin Vassell and Stephon Castle get to the basket, score a couple of points there. Everybody that played tonight was bonus. That was all bonus ball. They were all aggressive. None of them came in flat. Even the 3 minutes that Harrison Barnes came in, he looked a little lost for a minute there, but he was able to recompose himself. And even he contributed to this win as well. Everyone who played contributed. That's the other takeaway that you had. I agree with it. I just said it. Everyone that played made a difference tonight. It was a team effort. I'm just sad we didn't get to see any enforcers like Plumlee or Biyombo come in the game at any point there. But yeah, great team win for the Spurs. And the takeaways, Jeff.
Yeah, it wasn't needed in game 7. By the way, did you see that video? Supposedly what Wemby told Bismack was go out there and have fun. I don't know if that was code for something,
If fun is knocking him into the first row, I'm down. I'm so down for that.
90 style, baby, 90 style. Imagine getting hit by Mason back in the Knicks days or by Oakley. Yeesh.
I think
you wouldn't get up from that, Rudy.
When I'm able to talk to David Robinson on the shows that we do, I'm gonna ask him about that Karl Malone elbow he took because
I remember that. Yeah, that was crazy.
That was bad. That was bad.
All right. Well, we're gonna take our first break. When we get back, Rudy is gonna kick off the second segment with his big takeaways. We're gonna do turning points, standout stats, standout players. Get to your comments in a few minutes. And again, not a full-blown Spurs Knicks finals preview, but just some general thoughts. And we'll show you the schedule coming up next right here on Spurs In Focus with Mr. Rudy Campos of The Sports Answer. Follow him on X at The Sports Answer. And don't forget to subscribe to Spurs In Focus on YouTube. You want to do that right now.
Secret powers were revealed to me the day I held aloft my magic sword and said, "By the power of Grayskull, I subscribe to Spurs In Focus."
Rudy, is it true that you are the model for that He-Man character back in the day, that they sculpted him and made him look that hunky off of you?
The rumors are true. I used to look like that. I mean, this was way back in the day. I used to look like that. Yeah, I don't look like that now. I look like He-Man if he, got divorced and got off his diet and just,
or emo Thor in the movies. Remember when he let himself go?
Oh yeah, emo Thor. Yeah, I look exactly like that. That's where I like that.
How good was it tonight for the Spurs, San Antonio in general? So you got the Spurs, the Western Conference champs, the new Western Conference champs.
Yeah,
the Spurs are finals bound right now. Everybody is celebrating in San Antonio and across the globe, and the Toros had another shutout game. San Antonio's Toros won 24-0 over the Texas Syndicate, which is based in Austin. So they're undefeated. It was a great night in San Antonio sports. So
Do we
kudos
honk
to
for
the
the Toros?
What's that?
Do we go honking for the Toros?
Yeah. Well, I
That
think
part?
they're not there yet. They got to win something, the title or something, but we'll see there. But anyway, welcome back to Spurs in Focus. We appreciate you taking time off celebrating the Spurs win. Yeah, they win Game 7 over the defending champs Thunder, 111-103, win the series 4 games to 3, and they are finals bound, ready to host the New York Knicks. Because Rudy caught some media saying, no, the Spurs got to go to New York. No, New York has to come to San Antonio.
Pay
For
attention
the-
to the season. Please pay attention to the season. That's all I ask.
For the rematch of 1999. We'll see how that
Whew.
goes. That's for a little later on this show. All right, Rudy, kick us off in this new segment here. What are your big key takeaways?
Takeaway number one for me was they didn't allow the officiating to dictate the game. SGA, he had a couple times where he ended up falling on the ground. They were legitimate fouls. My family was screaming, that was not a foul. I said, hold up, that was a foul. I mean, those are legit fouls. There was a couple other times SGA did fall to the floor. They didn't blow the whistle. They swallowed the whistle. They let it play, but they let it play both ways. And I'm gonna say yes, Caruso, he fouled Castle extremely hard. That was a flagrant one at least. They didn't call it a flagrant run. That's when I felt, okay, this is going to be a very well called game. They're going to allow the players to dictate it. They called it a common foul, as bad as it was, and they kept it equal both sides. And that's what I loved about this officiating crew. So my biggest takeaway on number one was the fact that they didn't allow the refs to dictate the game. The Spurs continued to play physical. They continued to bully OKC, and that shows that when you're able to bully OKC, you can dominate them at any point of the game. So that's takeaway number one. Takeaway number two, Jeff, is the turnover battle. They won that turnover battle. And let's give love, man. You guys want to hate on this guy every damn opportunity y'all get, and I'm tired of defending him. Maybe I don't have to defend him no more.
Do it.
But why do you go and get a De'Aaron Fox? No, it's not because he was averaging 20-plus points a game and the best player in Sacramento. No, you don't go get him because you need him to make a difference every single game, and he's supposed to have, non-off nights every game. You go get him for this reason right here, because he takes care of the effing ball. He's a true point guard, and that shows in the turnover totals. In the end of the game, when you needed a ball handler out there, when you need to settle down, what do? You go get a guy like De'Aaron Fox and you put him on the floor. He calms the team down. He's the perfect point guard for this team of young guys. He's a young guy himself, but you know what? He's a proven leader. He's a proven veteran. That is my takeaway. The turnovers in general, they were 12 turnovers tonight. Fox took care of the ball. They had that little run where they got back-to-back turnovers by Castle and Harper. That's why you go get him. That's why you have him. That's takeaway number two, that turnover battle. And takeaway number three is heart. That's all I got. It's heart. Because you were not supposed to be here. You were supposed to be a 5th or 6th seed at best. Yeah. You were supposed to be a play-in team guaranteed. You were supposed to wait for Dylan Harper to become a superstar in the league. You were supposed to say, well, we're going to trade De'Aaron because we have too many point guards. There was a lot of supposed tos this season. And they basically put all the supposed tos, threw them in the toilet, and flushed them away. That's all that they did, because they played with heart. They played with heart from the game 1 of the season to the very, very end of the season right now of Game 7 in the Western Conference Finals. This team showed why being young doesn't matter. This team showed why champions are built, not just made. They are built in a regular season. It takes, a great coaching staff. It takes a great front office. And it takes a player like Victor to have players around him level their game up. So in everything, Jeff, on the takeaway for the whole series and then for tonight's game, my biggest one is heart. They played with heart, and that's something that you cannot coach at all.
Yeah, they didn't shrink in the spotlight. They didn't shrink under a Game 7 pressure, or winner take all, loser go home. They didn't show that at all. Again, I didn't see any fear in the eyes of these guys the moment the ball went up in the air for tip-off. They looked like they were primed and ready to go. But you're right. You've been saying this too. the Spurs are playing with house money. It was the Thunder who didn't have house money. Their status as a NBA champ or a potential defending NBA champ was on the line. Their status as having, the MVP, defending reigning MVP, can he lead us to the finals versus the Knicks? That was on them, not the Spurs. So, yeah, and there's a certain thing about trial by fire, too. You're learning on the fly, on the job training. That can just work as well for this young team, Spurs, that doesn't have the experience. Well, guess what? Now they have the experience now.
Yeah.
And now they're going to carry that whenever their season ends. Hopefully it ends in a title. But if it doesn't, then watch out NBA next season. Win or lose the finals, this team is going to be a juggernaut. And I suspect other teams are going to start making moves to counter the Spurs. How many years have we seen this? Make a move to counter the Warriors in their Big Three era, their title dynasty. How many times we potentially could have seen, teams adjusting for the Thunder.
Yeah.
How you can do that? But now teams are going to start adjusting for the Spurs. If the Spurs do win the title, or even if they don't, I think this league is theirs now. But look, everybody, keep those comments coming. We're going to get to them in just a few minutes. We're going to, highlight almost all of them. Rudy's been looking at it right now. So keep on those comments. By the way, help me out here, Rudy. Fans can help us with Super Chats. Can you tell them about that?
Yeah, so the thing with Super Chats now is that you can make a donation. All donations are through Super Chat on YouTube. If you want to drop a Super Chat, obviously your comment goes to the top. We focus on that. We read it as soon as we get it in. And that's the best way to support the show, for Jeff Garcia and myself. Getting Super Chats in is the best way to support the show. The more we give, the more we give back to you guys as well. So,
That's it.
Yeah, keep them coming, guys. We appreciate that.
All right, let's go ahead and get into our game. We play with Rudy every time we were on. He doesn't know which category I'm going with. Turning point, standout stats, standout players. Here we go. Round and round I go. Which one I want to stop? I'll stop on this one.
Can I just say the whole team and that way you don't have to answer anything? No. You're
Everything
obvious.
is an easy way out.
Oh,
Or just say this,
obvious.
Wemby. Just say Wemby, and then you're
Yeah, you're obvious as Wemby or Champagnie. I'm gonna leave those guys for you. I always go for the guys that are, not always getting selected here. I've been going with Devin Vassell, but lately today my standout player is going to be De'Aaron Fox. I mean, 15 points this game. He had 5 assists, and I think he had 3 steals, if I'm not mistaken, in the game. So again, a De'Aaron Fox performance that you would expect from him. A lot of people expect him because he's our $60 million man. He should be averaging 25 points a game.
Rudy's getting fired up.
No, man, he doesn't have to average 20 plus points a game. He just comes in, he gets the job done. He's basically CP3 is what he's doing. He's coming in, he's being a leader there. Yeah, he's being a leader. He's getting these young guys. I don't know about point guard yet. I mean, he probably won't ever be the point guard.
No, I'll say CP3, the point guard.
Oh, yeah, CP3, yeah. But what I'm saying he's similar to CP3. He's coming in, he's keeping the guys relaxed, he's getting them calm, he's making key plays in key parts of the game. Yeah, sure, he had a couple of bad games in the regular season, maybe a couple of bad games in the playoffs. Doesn't last but one game anyway. De'Aaron Fox is one of my standout players. The other standout player, Dylan Harper, man. I mean, you can't really say much about Dylan Harper. He scored 12 points, but it felt like he had 25, 26 points on the night for those 12 points that he scored. Knocked down 2 massive 3-point opportunities there. I think one thing I will say negative about Dylan was at the end of the fourth quarter when OKC kind of kept it a little close. He tried to posterize, I believe, Chet.
Yeah, he went.
And obviously he got it blocked and didn't really work out. But that could have been a momentum swing for OKC because I don't think they went down and got a basket after that. Had they gotten the basket, that could have been a small turning point. But nonetheless, I love the aggressiveness. He's already a superstar. If you guys have listened to Box Score and everything that I've been on with Jeff, you would have known. Yeah, you would have known Dylan Harper would have been a superstar when he got drafted or before he even got drafted. But yeah, those are my 2 standout players for the night.
I'm gonna go with the obvious. This guy.
Yeah, I knew you had to.
Yeah, Champagnie, man. What a game for him. That was the Champagnie that the Spurs need. That was the outside threat the Spurs need. Again, 20 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist in 37 minutes, 6 for 11 for the field, and 6 for 10 from the 3 line. Those 6 3-pointer makes were just daggers after daggers on the Thunder. They
Mhm.
came at crucial times too. They weren't just kind of like, oh, they're trying to come back. No, they were just punctuation marks on the Spurs beating this Thunder team. But it wasn't just offensively, Rudy. It's what he did defensively as well. He had one offensive rebound, one steal, just one turnover in 37 minutes. And he played a clean game, 2 fouls. He wasn't really, never really in foul trouble. 5 defensive rebounds. He had an effective field goal shooting everybody of 81.8. And on the night, he was a plus 16 for the Spurs. So my standout player is Mr. Julian Champagnie. So hopefully he can keep this up moving forward, going into the NBA final. Wow, I can't believe I'm saying that right now. Going to the NBA finals versus the Knicks, man. All right. What is the next category we got here? Let's hit Rudy with this one.
About freaking time, Jeff. Jesus Christ.
You've been waiting for this, and Rudy's been chomping at the bit for this one.
We've had a couple of comments, and I'm going to throw the comment up because this is it. The Kornett block was the turning point. It wasn't the fast start.
Yeah.
It wasn't the dunk that Victor had on Chet in the beginning of the game. It was nothing like that. It wasn't the three-point barrage they had in that last quarter. No, it was Luke Kornett. Why? Turnover, three-point shot by OKC, bang. Turnover, three-point shot by OKC, bang. Lead down to 6, I believe. It was 5 or 6. Turnover, Hartenstein on the break. Luke Kornett, he ran that big caboose all the way down the court and got the block. Dare I say that block is series clinching? It is the one play you may look back on and say, that is why the Spurs are NBA champions. That ranks up there for me. And again, people are going to disagree. I don't give a damn. That ranks up there for me with the likes of the Memorial Day miracle shot by Sean Elliott. That ranks up there with a ton of Spurs moments. Luke Kornett's block, you will get a statue in San Antonio if this team wins that title, because that block was the turning point, the key, the reason why this team won. I got no other turning point. If you're going to steal that from me, I give you props. Steal it from me. I don't care, because there's no other turning point for me.
That's it. That was there, because the Thunder were getting momentum again. And that would have, you talked about, had Harper dunked on Chet. I think if Hartenstein had finished that dunk on Kornett, that would have really swung the momentum.
Yes.
The Spurs' way.
Yes.
I mean, sorry, the Thunder's way. Yes. That is the obvious, the only. Even Mr. Johnson acknowledged it. He said that was a turning point of the game. All right, let's move on.
Well, standout stats. I might steal this from you, and I'm sorry, Jeff.
Yeah, go for it.
17 3-pointers. I mean,
that's the big one right there.
They knocked down 17 3-pointers, shot 43% from beyond the arc. And I mean, in days of the NBA right now, you live and die by the three. A lot of times you die by the three. Luckily enough tonight, they were just hot. They were hot beyond the arc. They hit 3-pointers when they needed them the most. It just seemed like when the Thunder were making a run, Julian, Victor, somebody, Dylan would knock down a 3. Fox would knock down a 3 at time to time to kind of kill that Thunder momentum. And that's the biggest stat for me, was because where we saw the whistle save OKC when the Spurs would make a run, when OKC would make a run, it would be a 3-point shot that would go in for San Antonio to kill any momentum by OKC. And for me, that's the standout stat. If I've got one other standout stat, it's one tackle. What do I mean by one tackle? It's Dylan Harper tackling Stephon Castle.
Yes.
That stat is going to be a massive stat for everybody to remember, because again, that could have been another turning point in the game. If Castle gets up and goes after Caruso like he wanted to, we may not have Stephon Castle for the remainder of the game. Who's to say they probably don't throw out Caruso if Castle goes after him. So I would say that one tackle is another stat that we can look back and think, okay, I'm glad Dylan Harper did that. But for me, the 3-point shots they were going in, that was money. That was key right there.
I have several standout stats, but they're not from the Spurs. They're from the Thunder. But
you're a Thunder fan now? Come on, dude.
No, I'm not a Thunder. No, it's not a standout stat because I think they did good. it's a standout stat. It's more like, oh wow, the Spurs did that. So SGA, right? Had a great game, really good game for the Thunder. You know, we highlighted 35 points, 4 rebounds. But here are my standout stats. I'm gonna go down the row. Hartenstein was a -14. Lou Dort was a -9. McCain, who was contributing, but yet he was a -8. SGA, the NBA MVP, was a -7 on the night. How about Alex Caruso? You know, he torched the Spurs. He was a -5. Casey Wallace, he was a -3. We talk about the Spurs. Oh, by the way, Chet Holmgren was a -3 too. Talk about the Spurs getting contributions from everybody who played. The Thunder were kind of shooting themselves in the foot, as the numbers show. So why am I bringing that up? Because the Spurs defense was on point, man. They were causing turnovers. They were just disrupting the Thunder. Those are the guys that many people were fearing. That team, I just read to you right now, throughout the whole regular season and the playoffs, oh, you steamroll the Lakers, steamroll the Suns. Man, you're going to go with the Spurs, the inexperienced Spurs? No way. No, the Spurs flipped the script. So for me, it was a plus-minus for the Thunder that everybody who played were almost a minus. Or are a minus. There were a few that were in a plus, but it was far a few too many. So, yeah, I think the Spurs defense and what they did to the Thunder was great. All right, everybody, we've been talking. We got to hear from you.
We got a super chat, Jeff.
All right,
go for it. Get to it now. Shout out to Sports Talk with Austin for a $5 super chat. He says, Wemby showing all the emotions tonight. Shows you how much this means to him and these players. I love basketball for that reason. Boyhood, childhood dreams. I will say
Sports Talk. Did you see him the way he was bent over after the game, just in tears? I mean, he had Bismack kind of embrace him, and then some other, I guess, friends of his were there on the court with him. Yeah. I mean, he was just soaking it in. He even said he hopes that he gets addicted to the feeling. So yeah, I mean, you're right. The Sports Talk with Austin.
There's no reason why. This is the thing. You got a taste of the finals. You got a taste of the playoffs. You're going to get a taste of the finals now. This team shows why every team in the offseason is going to have to make any type of move to compete with San Antonio. Their only losses, Jeff, are going to be what? Harrison Barnes, maybe Olynyk, guys that are key factors, but are not, big time contributors on the team. So, and let's face it, they're going to get better, San Antonio, in the offseason. They're going to have some room to play with some stuff. So let's definitely not forget that, the team's going to continue to get better. But talking with Sports in Austin, has the same feeling when Pop was on the bench.
Yeah.
Exactly. They worked so hard to get back to the finals. And remembering that Pop was on the bench, just finally taking a breath, finally looking down like, okay, we did it. We're back and we finally got the job done. That's the same emotion that I felt when I saw Wemby tonight.
Yeah, it was just Wemby Sports Talk with Austin. It was everybody else. You saw Vassell just beaming with smiles. You can hear post game. You can hear the locker room just going crazy. The cheering and the booming and the just the clapping. Yeah. It was phenomenal too. We got to keep in mind too, Sports Talk with Austin, that the journey's not over yet. They still got four more games to win. Yeah. We'll see whether you do that. But at least as far as tonight is concerned, yeah, you soak it on. And by the way, Rudy, we got a guy from Austin right now. I guess Austin and San Antonio. We got to put our differences aside for.
You can have more games. Yeah. You can have a few more games. We'll say that.
No go Badger fans, the best tacos in the city or the state, I should say. Back to that later. But thanks a lot for the $5, buddy. We appreciate it. All right, let's get to some comments. Take it away.
I'm gonna go all the way to the top, man. I love the way we started tonight, Jeff. This comment: DM Little Mama miss me with all the drama. Victor Wembanyama, Spurs in 7. Giving us the Shannon Sharp right there. Vinicius, I won't even pronounce that. He says, hello, guys. Joel's in here, Texas Rican, a great, supporter of the show here. He's a supporter for a long time. Someone filed a missing report on Chet Holmgren because he was nowhere to be found.
Man, I swear, you got Thunder fans right burning his jersey right now.
I got a text message right now. I'm not going to say from who. It's an NBA player, former NBA player. And it's not, I would say Derek texted me one time, but it's another guy that said, look for Giannis to be in the OKC rumors and Chet
for
being
sure.
on the way out. So
Oh, for sure.
we'll throw that in there here for a little bit. Keldon telling Coach No when being taken out was gladiator level. Definitely was there. Series MVP was Luke Kornett for the block. Saved the game, saved the
we talked about
series.
it.
Why can't we give Luke Kornett a statue?
How about this? Can I give a round of applause, Rudy? Is that cool?
Yes.
Can I do that, or we get the applause sound?
Every shout out to the man. Silver Adventures, another great supporter here of us here at Spurs In Focus. Wemby and crew came out to play tonight only for the overstayed consistent as they played most of the year. We are going honking. There's no
it's happening right now. It is
free
going.
throw
I can
run.
hear it.
Oh, I know you can. The free throw run by OKC and the refs. Wow, they had a couple of runs for free throws, but the disparity wasn't as bad. I mean, again, they only shot 3 more free throws in the Spurs tonight. So
They did, yeah. It was pretty even. You're right. The refs called a pretty fairly even
it
game.
was a great game. Felt like game 1. I mean, the refs were great, like in game 1. Congratulations to the team of San Antonio Spurs. Congratulations to our city. Congratulations to the show for 4 more wins. Let's go Spurs. 4 more wins. I am being stalked again, as mentioned before in previous members. So good old San Antonio.
I met her at the Comic-Con that I was at recently.
Yeah, you met my stalker. Yeah. My stalker is in here. It says that was heartbreaking. Brutal San Antonio a huevo. We've got as a Thunder fan, congratulations on the hard fought series. Now beat the Knicks. I told you.
Hey, the Knicks have been wanting the Spurs. They've been saying we want Wemby, so here it is.
Jeff, how divided is the United States when it comes to Knicks and Spurs? I said it would probably be even.
Yeah, even I can see obviously East Coast will be on Knicks.
I think it's true a West East Coast swing.
The Midwest South will probably be Spurs.
I would say
the blip you're going to see is Oklahoma State. The state of Oklahoma will be all.
Oh, but yeah, I think OKC is cheering for the Knicks. There's no doubt about that. But I mean, if it was a Knicks Thunder series, it would have been all Knicks, 49 State for New York and Oklahoma just for them. So definitely that. What's up, fellas? Congrats on the Western Conference champs. How I feel. Love the Wemby emotion. Shows what he wanted. Yes, definitely. Wemby wanted this. Who thinks the Knicks will be tougher to beat in the finals, or was OKC a foot in the door? Oh God! I mean, you and I are probably gonna do a Knicks Spurs finals preview show, but I will say that
I don't understand the question. I don't get it.
So who thinks Knicks will be tougher than tougher team to beat in the finals? I'm assuming. I don't
understand that.
I need to get a little more calm. I'll ask this question for this. I'll ask the question for him because basically, do you think the Knicks are going to be a tougher team? I guess for the Spurs in the final.
Yeah.
It's not going to be 99.
It's just a bunch of dogs, man. They're just
oof.
They'll reset. I keep forgetting they have Cat. I don't know why. I keep forgetting they got Cat. He could be a problem because he can spread the freaking floor.
And if I'm not mistaken, the Knicks owned the Spurs in the regular season.
No, they didn't. They lost both games to the Knicks.
That's what I'm saying. The Knicks owned the Spurs.
Oh, the Knicks owned this. Yes.
Yeah, owned the Spurs in the regular season. So definitely not here. Kudos to Harper, Alex the critic. I think the Spurs benefited from the Thunder making a ton of boneheaded coaching decisions late in the third quarter and through the fourth. Yeah, and that's what we talked about earlier. I would think the coaching, it seemed like Diagne and the staff were trying to do something that they normally don't do, and that would slow the game down. So good point on that. I'm glad they were listening because that was something that you and I had brought up when it comes to that. How mature was it Wemby to play with 5 fouls late in the fourth and stay in the game without falling out? Big boy pants. You want to get
that goes back to the Thunder. Why didn't they attack him? There was still a lot of time on the clock still. They could have got him out quick if they really wanted to.
Yeah, my stalker's back in here. Says, what's your opinion on officiating? I mean, games 2 through 5 were tough. They were tough officiated games. It was always either Spurs getting the calls or OKC getting the calls. Games 1, 6, and 7, you couldn't have asked for better officiated games, man. Yeah. Definitely not. Got to swing all the way down, man. Got a major super.
Oh, I see.
A massive super stat.
Okay,
I think of Mike Rehome. See, this is how you buy your way into Spurs In Focus, according to Jeff. So now you know why my credit card bills are so high. Great stuff as always, fellas. 4-way. I'll tell you, they left it on the floor, and the emotions afterwards from each player, especially Wemby, showed exactly how tough the series was. I'm going to give you the floor on that, Jeff, but Rehome, I'm going to say this. This has been probably one of the best series that I've seen
Yeah,
in a long time. I mean,
this is good.
this was a series. I'm even trying. This reminded me of the Lakers and Kings series from back in the day.
Oh, that
Those
was
7-game series. This reminds me of the Lakers and Spurs series from back in the day. It's been so long since I've seen a series this great, and where at the end of the day, I was just like, give me more of the series. What do you got, Jeff?
Yeah. It says there. Rehome says they left it on the floor. Yeah, I think they did. And I, I go back to how I saw them start the game. They no fear, had no fear in their eyes, no nervousness. It was just like, all right, we're just playing another game. Just bring it on. Yeah, that's what I loved about the Spurs. Wemby, yes, I bet if you're anybody who's learning a lot at just the physicality level of the NBA playoffs, Rio, from the abuse he took versus the Wolves, the abuse he took from Hardenstein versus the Thunder. So yeah, he's learning a lot right now. And guess what? There's some dogs waiting for them, the Knicks, and they're probably going to do the exact same thing. You got Mitchell Robinson, you got Cat, Hart. You think Bruss is going to fear going against in the lane against Wemby? Probably not. Yeah. So there's that stuff. But my God,
Let's not forget Jeremy Sohan is a Knick now.
He ain't gonna play.
Well, no, he's not going to play. But I mean, I only mention Jeremy Sohan because I mean, there always talk about former players playing against their other team. Not so much that they're going to get on the court and play. They kind of know the way certain players play. They know their little knickknacks. They practice with them for so long. They play with them for so long. They know their spots on the floor. They know a lot of stuff. So, not saying Jeremy's going to get minutes, but I'm just saying that Wemby's going to get a whole lot more when it comes to the New York Knicks. And he's had a lot of occasions in this playoffs where he could have easily gotten pissed off and thrown out a ton of games. So I think what he needs to understand against New York is that the physicality doesn't stop. It actually gets worse in the finals. They've let him play a whole lot more. Appreciate you, Riho, man. We got another.
Thank you again. That was very generous of you, Riho. We thank you for that.
Very.
We got another one too.
Yeah, we did. Sports Talk with Austin. Another $5 super chat for you, Jeff.
Hey, thank you, Austin.
I think the NBA tonight and throughout this series maybe find a blueprint slowing SGA down, not stopping him altogether, but slowing him down. Yes, you can't stop SGA. He's a prolific scorer, but when you swallow the whistle, SGA doesn't get those MVP moments where he's scoring 40 and 35 and 36. The refs did a fantastic job in a lot of these games, and it shows is that, when you let him play SGA, that's his kryptonite. The free throw line is his strength, man. It definitely is.
It is. And the other thing, Austin, too, is the Spurs played smart defense on SGA. It wasn't just, it was kind of loose, maybe a zone kind of game. He always talked about it in the pregame, Austin, about how the Spurs played like a wall against him. And obviously Castle was the primary defender. But you got to also salute Harper. Harper did a pretty good job. These guys are quick with their feet, good defenders. They're long, they're athletic. I mean, I've never seen SGA penetrate and kick out as often as he did in this series than he did in the regular season or the first two playoff rounds for them. He was always in attack mode, finishing, big in the fouls. I saw him just kick out.
Yeah.
Constantly. So they did a good job with him, Austin. And they made him work. Like he really had to work for those 30 plus points tonight. And in all the other games, Austin, that he had to work for his game. If you go back, I got the numbers here, Austin. Check this out. So you go to SGA, right? So, and then you look at just him overall. You look at, okay, what has he done in the playoffs? Well, I am highlighting this before, Austin, but in the first round versus the Phoenix Suns, he was a plus 10 for that series, actually a 10.8. You fast forward to the semifinals was the Lakers. For the entire series, that one, he was a plus 7.8. Versus the Spurs, for the entire series, he was a minus 5. They really made him work. And he averaged about 3 turnovers per contest versus San Antonio. And he shot abysmally from the 3 line, especially at 28%. and from the field, he shot about 40%. So the Spurs made him work, Austin, and you saw it. You saw it. It benefited the Spurs in time.
You know, the thing too with SGA, beginning with Austin about mentioning SGA, slowing him down. You and I mentioned the other day about his legacy, that if he doesn't win this series, that his legacy is going to be in jeopardy. Now he's going to go down as, you know, a back-to-back MVP, one-time NBA Finals MVP, one-time NBA champion. The question that I posed to you is the same thing that Derek and I talked about. He posed to me, how many more times is SGA going to win MVP after this year? Probably zero. I mean, you're probably going to see the NBA dominated now by Victor, by Luka, you know, especially with LeBron playing going.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards is going to be in the MVP talk. If Jaylen Brown gets traded out of Boston, he's going to be in the MVP talk. So, I mean, you're the chances of SGA winning more MVPs now probably are done. So you got to look at that. He needed this victory over San Antonio. He needed to get to the finals. He probably needed another NBA title, where that would have put him in an elite category for guards. Now he's an elite player. He's a superstar player, but he's going to have minimal hardware. And that's where I think this is where it hurts his legacy a whole bunch more, man. So yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, Austin. Again, we appreciate that. So what are the other comments?
We got a bunch more comments. I got to walk all the way back to the top, man. Jacob Berg, you know, shout out overseas.
He's overseas right now. Yeah, he's awake.
Your boy's in here, and he says, congrats, everyone. Wops. Kobe wears a purple tie.
I forgot what it.
I'm going to say tie.
I don't remember what it was.
I don't know.
He told me so many years ago.
Was I the only one who thought Reggie Miller was actually a pretty good commentator? He was the only neutral party in the whole broadcast. Shout out to Reggie Miller.
He's so for me.
He was good. I like Jamal Crawford a little bit. I liked him a little bit. I don't know who I wish we could go back to the Hubie Brown days and those guys, because
those days,
those guys were way better. Let's go Spurs, even though I'm a Lakers fan.
Okay, Lakers fans. By the way, you see Mavs fans were jumping on the Spurs bandwagon during the game?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Welcome to the bandwagon. Welcome to the bandwagon. You know, we have plenty of room here. Celtics fan here, but we always love the Spurs and have so much special loyalty and dedication.
That's true. That's absolutely true. One of my good friends, John Corrales, probably one of my closest friends ever. He's a big Celtics fan. He covers the Celtics, and during the peak days of Pierce and Rondo and Garnett, we were hoping one day that the big three of the Spurs will meet their big three in the finals. Never panned out, but no, the Celtics definitely have respect for the silver and black.
Yeah, definitely. Jeffrey Reed, how much does Mitch trust Dylan in Game 7?
He played, man. That's enough. He played and was there in crucial moment. That's a lot of trust right there, Tim.
Dylan Harper, I mean, he's not your prototypical guard, like your typical guard today. He gets to the basket a whole lot. Chef scored one field goal in Game 7. We've also got Crazy Joe Go Spurs in here. Yes, Rudy at the turning point was Spurs fans coming into OKC. I'm wondering what happened to the Jackals. Hopefully they made it out of the arena alive, because if they're going around that place, there's probably a whole bunch, huge boxes rehome. First game of the series, Spurs actually looked healthy. That's a good point. They actually did look pretty healthy.
Yeah, shout out Fox too. He's playing hobbled. Let's not forget that. He's not 100%.
Yeah, but you know, you shouldn't pay him $60 million for getting injured, Jeff. That doesn't make any sense. Spurs definitely had an extra step tonight. Kornett's block was clutch. Castle was about to explode on Caruso. Thank you, Dylan Harper, for that. We've got an unnecessary tech.
Yeah.
Changed the game more with Kornett. I was shocked that Thunder did nothing to take advantage of the fact that Wemby had 5 fouls for most of the fourth quarter. Just another.
I was saying that too, Alex. That's all I kept on saying. Like, why aren't you doing that? You could have got him out of the game with 5 minutes left, and it was still not a big lead for the Spurs, and they didn't do that.
Let's take a second on that, Jeff, because I want to ask you this question, and everybody's bringing it up here. Do you think the refs swallow the whistle and not give him his 6 in that time? Now, I'm saying
they would have
obvious fouls, yes,
but you could have gotten an obvious foul. You know what? If Chet wanted to make up for his, let's say, if Chet really wanted to make up for his fail in Game 7, if he had gotten Wemby fouled out, you know, so what if he get blocked? You know, Wemby blocks everybody. But if you would have gotten gotten aggressive, we saw Jamal, we saw Reggie. Every time Chet was on Wemby, what did they say? Go attack him, and he didn't.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He could have just been like a hero for the Thunder, but good.
Would he have gotten it? But would he have gotten the call? That's the thing.
I think he would have. Yeah, I think the way they were calling me in is fair. I think he would have.
Just curious, how was Wallace in the minus when he led OKC in the game with his threes? What was
I'll double check that for you.
I got it right here actually. Casey Wallace -3 on
It was
the
-3. Probably turnovers, I bet.
majority of everybody was a minus. The only one that was plus.
Oh, we
was
can skip
Jalen.
that. We can skip that one. We can skip that one.
Oh,
Rudy.
sorry. The Spurs did really well to run them off the 3-point line.
Yes,
I mean, OKC had 12 threes tonight. I mean, they did a pretty decent job on that.
Yes, sir.
Dogs, I'm so hyped repping the Spurs since I was 9 years old and Laker home, so I'm glad we go back. So Spurs go. Shout out to Ruben Saldana. Yeah, I love that profile picture, by the way.
That's cool. Yeah, he has a Devin Vassell jersey on too.
Yeah, Devin Vassell. But my MVP, Jeff, my MVP. Happy for KJ2, longest tenure.
Yes,
first
yeah,
time
good point.
in the
Good point.
playoffs. He had a big smile. There was a point where I got upset at Keldon Johnson tonight. I hope he's not listening because he always was on the show with my a while back. So hope he's not there. God, I wish I was there. Everybody worried that they were there. Spurs are the modern day Thundercats. There's your Thundercat, Jeff. You mentioned there.
We got
on here.
Let's super chat right now.
Got another one from Austin here. Let's bring him up right now. Appreciate again. Some teams are built to beat certain teams. I think the Spurs are built to beat the Thunder. And as much as the media ragged on De'Aaron Fox, showed up tonight. So happy for him. And
I'm gonna let you take care of that one, Rudy. This is all you. This is all you right now.
Yeah, I would say first off, teams, when you're going into an off season, you're looking at who the title team is, who the best teams in your conference are. You're going to try to match up as much as you can and get close to being, as competitive as you are to those teams. And yeah, man, media, a lot of fans on X, a lot of fans all over social media as well, but also regular media guys, even local media guys, that do podcasts and stuff. They've been dogging on De'Aaron Fox for the longest time. Hey, he needs to go. We need to trade him. De'Aaron Fox didn't show up again. He's the one that killed us. Yada, 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 yada.
Yeah, Rudy getting all worked out right now.
I'm just saying. And, the only thing they ever come back on me on is, well, he's paid max money. Well, no shit, he's paid max money. He deserved the max money. When they traded for him, they knew they were going to pay him a max deal. It was already in the books. It was already guaranteed to happen. That's why he came to San Antonio. So yeah, media got all in this case, but what? You don't need De'Aaron Fox to be that 24, 25 plus scorer. You don't need him to be Sacramento King De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
You need him to come into San Antonio, help guide the young guys, help control the ship, be the captain of a team that is now going to the NBA Finals. He's one of the reasons why this team is finals bound, and he's one of the reasons why Victor Wembanyama, Devin Vassell, Stephon Castle are playing the way that they have. He's the reason why Julian Champagnie does get open opportunities because he can attack the basket, and he's a point guard. He's smart. He knows when to make the right play. Sure, he does a couple of games with turnovers, but you know what? For those couple of games that he screwed up and maybe had a bad fourth quarter or a bad game where he had a bunch of turnovers, there's probably 4 or 5 other games that he's the reason why the Spurs have won certain games. So quit dogging on De'Aaron Fox. I know it's not sports talk with Austin dogging on him, but it's a lot of the other media people here in San Antonio, a lot of podcasts in San Antonio, even national media sometimes will dog on him. Leave him the F alone. The guy's a dog. The guy's a winner, and he's proving it now.
That's for Rudy. We're over.
Right, but no, I'm not. I don't drink on the show. Go ahead.
You have a sports show in Austin? I'm assuming you do because I see your graphic and sports talk with Austin. You can promote it on the chat if you want to.
Sure.
Out.
If it's on X, tag me and Jeff on X. I'll
share exactly. Do that.
No
tag
problem.
me, Rudy on X, and we'll repost it. I'm assuming again, Austin. I'm assuming because of the logo and your name.
Well, we'd love to get other people on your show, my show, and Austin. Austin would be one, but we can't go with Austin until we get Rehome. Rehome is number one. Rehome's number one. Austin,
I can't have fun with him tonight because he helped us out big time tonight. So
no, well, he did ask me.
Austin too. So well, that's why I'm inviting Austin to promote his show, and so that's my favorite to Austin. And for Rehome, I'm saying, okay, I'm not gonna dog on you tonight.
No, man. Rehome's got first dibs. I'll have to say that. I think the Northeast is on.
Oh, well, wait. First dibs on In Focus or with the answer?
Let me show you what he put, because he did say it was a comment after we talked about it. He said, I got to get back to work. I appreciate y'all. And Rudy, when am I on the show? So I don't know if it's yours or mine, but I'm going to say this. He'll get on both. He'll be on.
Okay. It's safe.
We'll get him on both. So there's no problem.
What's everybody else talking about?
Knicks, same Boston and Philly, they hate New York. So pretty much a lot of cities are going to be against New York.
Yeah, for sure.
But a lot of cities will love New York as well. I'm hoping for the Knicks too. NBA feels different. The Knicks are good. Something must about masquerade the basketball mecca.
No,
That's-
I know MSG like the back of my hand. I could tell you every nook, cranny, corner, alleyway, everything. And let me tell you, when you go into that arena, it is history. You can just feel it. There's the media room is this winding staircase, and you take it up, and then it's old school. It's like old school desk, like from the 80s. Like little like partitions, and then you took it back down and you go to the media room. It's a great experience.
I'm gonna have to cover a game in New York one day, man.
Oh, and the media seats are way up, like you could touch the roof of MSG. That's how high they're up.
Okay, and then I'm not covering it in the next
It's
game.
high up there.
There's no doubt I'm not doing that. Spurs are 1-2 versus Knicks this year with the NBA Final Cup loss. Shout out to Sir Edward James, James Espinosa.
Oh yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, Espinosa. We appreciate it. I thought they went. I went there. They went 0 versus the Knicks. I don't know.
No, the Spurs I think won in San Antonio.
One? Okay.
They won one in San Antonio.
Thank you for that correction there, Espinosa. We appreciate it.
Yeah. So and shout out to Espinosa, man, because he's got a great show on Sundays over at Corpus Christi. So shout out to him. The Knicks were down.
I like about Espinosa, man. He wants to smoke from Spurs fans on that social media. He'll put out like a really bold statements, and Spurs fans get on him, and he's like, "Where's the lie? Where's the lie?" So
well, he's like you and I. I mean, even with Derek, we're not sugarcoating shit here. We call it like it is, man. And they're gonna dog it them. We're gonna dog it. The Knicks were down 2-0 in Atlanta first round, haven't lost since. That's right, dude.
They're on a 13-game winning streak, something crazy like that. Like wild.
Dude. They are playing damn good basketball. Spurs in Theory is haha. It says yes. They was talking about when we were talking about the super chat. Dead Dendish. It says I'm happy sober right now. Ruben Saldana's in there, man, repping the Spurs in Cali for 27 years. I'm glad we're back.
For you, Ruben.
Finally, diehard Lakers fan. Let's always go.
I hope you're going honking down on the ocean area or the highway near there. So
I've been to Cali one time, just never really explored anything. So can't really say.
You know why I want to go to Cali? And people are like, oh, what to see Hollywood, to see the ocean. No, I want to go to the largest toy warehouse that's just right outside of Los Angeles. It's called Frankensons. Okay. I've always wanted to go to that. Just think of a hollowed out Sam's Club, and it's just aisles and aisles of collectibles. That's where I want to go.
I'm gonna have to save up money so I can go there and shop, man. Love my.
I'm gonna back to my apartment.
I love my city. Go Spurs, go! Not a problem, guys. The NBA is saved, fellas. Yeah,
it is. It is.
Feels like a really good NBA. Dylan Harper hit some clutch shots.
Yes, he did. He was clutch tonight.
Joel says, Josh Hart tweeted this on December 22nd, 2024. Spurs equals shit. Well, Josh, you're about to find out.
Yes, yeah. Poke the bear, Josh. Hart, poke the bear.
Hart puts putts like Caruso and already got whiteboard material against him.
That they do.
Yeah, definitely do. Great team effort all around. There's Chet, the new Ben Simmons.
Wow. Ooh, we're going there.
I don't know if he's quite Ben Simmons just yet, but we'll see. I thought the standing point of the broadcast is finals are NBC instead of ABC. I think it's on NBC. I don't know.
ABC. The finals are on ABC this year.
Tarico is a great play-by-play guy, but I don't think he's his forte. Give me Kevin Harlan. Yeah, Kevin Harlan would be awesome on the call, but I don't think we're going to get Kevin Harlan for the finals. Spurs made the run during the fourth quarter. Vassell was playing. We got comments tonight. I bet France is partying.
I can't even imagine France right now.
Where's Tony Parker at? What the hell? Like,
he's in France. He's all businessman now.
Whatever. Since he sold his house in San Antonio, he's never been back. I'm kind of pissed off about that. Pushing back a little bit on at Sports Talk with Austin, was our team really built to beat the Thunder, though? Remember, they were supposed to be here at all. I think it's worked out great. No, I mean, I guess you could say that, but yeah, I mean, at the same time, they were building around Wemby, and they just caught lightning in a bottle. I mean, you didn't expect Dylan Harper to be this good right away. They didn't expect Devin Vassell to have this kind of season, considering the way he had been playing. So, yeah, I mean, I think it was lightning in the bottle, and I'm not complaining. We got Sports Talk and Aston back here. another $5 super chat, man. Question for you guys: where does the series rank in Spurs history? I know it's a lot of history for the past teams, but this has to feel pretty sweet.
This series,
This
I'm gonna
goes.
put it
I would
top
say for me,
top 5.
if we're ranking them, this series. Oh God,
Because while you're thinking
the
about
top
that,
5.
while you're thinking about that,
Top 5.
these are the series that I have ahead of that one. Spurs Pistons finals games. That went to Game 7. That was a thrilling series.
That's definitely top 3.
Okay,
It's got to be top
for
3.
me. Blazers Spurs back in the 90s. Robinson, Elliott, Ross Strickland in the past, Drexler. That even though the Spurs lost, that was a great series because the Spurs were minutes away from their first NBA Finals until that pass happened.
Yeah.
I would have to put another great series was Spurs Suns when Duncan hit that 3-pointer to send it overtime. I was at that game at the then SBC Center. That series was just phenomenal. I'll put another series in there, and as a Memorial Day Miracle, Spurs Blazers, Sean Elliott. That was a good series, and then I'll put this series.
So I think those series I would put there. I would add Spurs Lakers 0.4. I mean, those series.
Yeah,
that
was
series
Spurs
was-
lost, but yeah.
I mean, if we're just talking series, if we're talking, Spurs victories, and obviously the Portland series with the Memorial Day Miracle, the Pistons series probably has to be number 1, I think.
Yeah.
Because
that was a dog fight.
That finals, everybody hated it because it was like 84 or 81.
You know what, Austin? I'm gonna take that topic. I think that's gonna be an episode coming up soon here on Spurs In Focus. That's a great topic. That's a great topic.
Past Spurs playoffs.
Spurs playoff series. That's a good one. Thank you for that tip as well, Austin.
Yeah, I think that was a good one. I mean, honestly, Jeff, I think this series is probably top 3.
I
It's
want to go
top
that.
3.
I can't see it over.
It doesn't beat Portland. I mean, it doesn't beat doesn't beat the Pistons.
It doesn't beat the Pistons. I agree with you. It doesn't beat the Memorial Day Miracles.
I'm gonna say bullshit. I have it above the Memorial Day Miracle.
No,
that Spurs team was rocking, dude. There was no doubt on that team. That shot was a big shot. Yes, took them to their first finals and guaranteed them damn near their first NBA championship. But that team, you kind of expected them to go this far. This team, you did not expect them to be here. So, and for them to take the Thunder, the defending champions, who dominated the regular season, who the only team that got dominated by them were the Spurs that dominated the Thunder in the regular season. But you would have never expected this team to be right here, right now. This series has to be above that series. It truly has to. I mean,
why don't we save it for the upcoming episode?
Oh, damn it, Jeff. Damn it. All right.
Look at Austin. You got Rudy all around it, but Rudy loves these type of topics. You put him in any multi-topic,
man. We
multi-ter like rankings and stuff. Rudy will go wild on it, man. All right, what a split. Thank you, by the way, Austin, for that. Yeah. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it. We got a few more that came in. Vassell was playing kind of anxious. He called the necessary timeout when he couldn't inbound the ball, and the Thunder continued to cut into the lead. Yeah, I mean, good timeout. I think he probably kind of overreacted on the timeout. Like you said, maybe got a little anxious. But overall, good timeout. I think it was okay. Cheers from Dallas, but grew up in Kirby Converse, UIW, University of Colorado, Trinity University. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate the support there. Fox did do well handling the ball and limiting turnovers. That's why you pay him the big bucks. I'll be in Cali soon. The stalker's going to Cali. Oh, yay. Thank God. I'll have a break from being stalked all the time now. So, yeah, definitely now. Definitely gonna have. I hope she has a really good trip up there. Past teams, what he was talking about.
Yeah, we figured it out. Yeah,
I'm actually afraid of Victor winning the championship and what happens if he goes to the White House. I really don't think about that. What do you guys think? I don't think there's a problem.
I don't think there's a problem there.
Yeah, there shouldn't be any problem with that. When Robert Ory dropped Steve Nash, that was a good series, but I don't think it ranks way up there. Mitch Johnson, ODA High School, Seattle Sonic Karma.
There you go.
Ooh, yeah. Perfect. I love that. Bring back the Sonics. They're coming back soon. I think Sonics, Spurs, OKC 2014 over this one just because of Corey Joseph dunk on Ibaka.
I remember that. I remember
the blocking demon. That was a good series, but I still think this series is way up there. Jeff, you should put on your show, Dylan House. probably one of the few NBA players NBA should play in the final in his first year. Magic Johnson is
Magic
one
Johnson
that
did
comes
it,
to
yeah.
mind.
And Jabbar did it too, right?
I can't remember if Jabbar did.
I think he did with the Bucks.
Sean Elliott, yeah,
Spender still, yeah.
maybe so. Sean Elliott, tippy toe shot, of course, and more than a miracle. Go Spurs Go, been a fan since 2016. Laughing in the praying emoji. The series against the Mavs was pretty good too.
Eesh, that was a good one.
Are you talking about the Ginobili foul on Dirk?
Was that the same one where Kerr saved the Spurs' butt?
No, that was a different. That was a different one. That was a really good series, but that was more of. Man, that's a tough one. I'm gonna save that because that's
save it.
That's not a tough one. Then a couple more. Surprise in 2014 revenge series against the Heat didn't make either of y'all's list. Also the 99 Portland series. That's number one. Yeah, you did. Now the 2014 revenge game, I'll say this much. Yes, it was a great series, but when I'm thinking series of all time, I'm talking like nail biter. Like you had no idea who was going to win.
And that Blazers series was a nail biter too.
That Blazers was a nail biter, but that Spurs team was just, I mean, they were going to dominate Portland regardless, man. They remember the Spurs team that year, Jeff? They ran through the damn playoffs. They ran through the damn Knicks. Like,
were the Blazers still the Joe Blazers at the time?
Yeah, you're talking Wallace, Grant, Pippen, Steve Smith. I mean, they were the Jailblazers, but that Spurs team ran through the entire league, even in the playoffs. They ran through the Lakers. They ran through the Blazers. I mean, this team is, again, the expectations of this team were not finals. They weren't even supposed to be in the Western Conference Finals. So
fired up.
Yeah, I'm just saying the 2014 Spurs, Tim Duncan, last champion. Yeah. I mean, that's going to be a big one. And the Manu fouling Dirk. So that's what series he was talking about.
Ooh, we had a lot of comments in today. Yeah.
Tons of comments, man. Tons of
keep
comments.
Keep it coming. Yeah. Well, guys, we're going to go ahead and put a bow on this show, man. You can see it on your screen right now, a little over an hour, well, a lot over an hour now. Really, I got to get some sleep soon. But hey, listen, we appreciate the comments. We appreciate the super chats. Keep them coming. Rudy and I are probably going to go live, when the finals start, maybe do a live preview as we did for this Game 7. So stay tuned here at Spurs In Focus. You want to do that? Speaking of Spurs In Focus, subscribe where we get your favorite podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Apple, Amazon Podcasts, obviously YouTube Music, the list goes on and on. And that guy you see on your screen, he's Mr. Rudy Campos. We want you to follow him right now at the Sports Answer on X and give us your thoughts on our recap of Game 7. Go to the finals. Now, by the way, real quick, let me show you the final schedule, everybody. In case you're wondering, I have it here. There it is. Let me just put it up real fast.
Go for it.
So you can still see us behind the image, but there it is right there. It starts Wednesday, June 3rd in San Antonio. So the first two games, and then, of course, you see the rest of the schedule. All games you see, if you're on the East Coast, 8:30, you're in San Antonio Central, it's 7:30. So every single game is at 7:30, all right? So there you have it. We will do a complete breakdown, Spurs, Knicks, throughout the week. Well, actually, throughout the week because they play on Wednesday, so in the coming days. What to expect, breakdown, all that good stuff. I know some Nick shows and their hosts. I'm going to see if they can come on the Spurs In Focus and talk about the Knicks as well with us, the Spurs fans here. So there's your quick look at the schedule. I'll leave it up for like 3 more seconds. 1, 2, 3. There you go. So yeah, finals are upon us this Wednesday. But again, as I said, let Rudy know your thoughts on his takes on Game 7. And beyond that, let me know on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone. And it's a Substack. Go subscribe right now. Spurs In Focus Substack. Just Google it. It's there. It's free. Sign up right now. We definitely appreciate that too. But yeah, what a night, buddy. What a night, everybody. Everybody, I mean, can you believe it? Spurs are going back to the finals, chasing title number 6. And if they get title number 6, Rudy and everybody else watching, they'll tie the Bulls for the most NBA titles in NBA history.
Third most titles. They'll be able to tie the Bulls.
They'll tie it. The Bulls, Michael Jordan Bulls, those guys. Yeah, they'll tie it. Once again, your Spurs beat the Thunder in Game 7, 111-103. They win the series 4 games 3. Advance to play the Knicks in the 2026 NBA Finals and a shot at NBA glory. Rudy, what's going on with the answer?
Yeah, so obviously we're gonna have to continue Spurs talk because now they're in the finals. So Derek
Yeah.
Irvin and I are gonna be talking Knicks Spurs NBA Finals. You can catch the Friday drive obviously on Fridays around 5:30. Be sure to go to Answer Now TV and Box Score Studio TV. That way you can be sure to catch Derek Irvin and I. You can also catch me on X. I'm at the Sports Answer. Plus, just announced tonight, man. You want to catch us on the Friday drive as well? You can now catch us on Jeff's Twitter account as well. So we'll be going live on Jeff's Twitter on Fridays now. And you always look at the Friday drive with Derek Irvin and myself. And yeah, it's just gonna be probably all NBA talk this coming week with the finals. I mean, we'll see what game 2 is gonna be that night. So we'll get you ready for game 2. We'll have reaction to game 1. Football season's right around the corner. So we got a lot going on, man. Over at the Sports Answer.
Yeah, and now just like Rudy, we're here at Spurs In Focus. We're going to have to cram it in because it's a quick turnaround for the NBA Finals. It's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and that's it. So, yeah, we're going to have to go quick on this and get everything in before that first game in San Antonio. Don't see what the media says. It's in San Antonio. All right. Yeah. Everybody, we thank y'all for staying up late right now. I know all of San Antonio's going to be up late tonight partying, but once the night is over, remember, it ain't over yet. The Spurs got to get 4 more wins, and then it'll be all over. We'll see when that happens versus New York soon. So for everybody, thank y'all for joining us. Thank you for the super chats, whoever contributed. We appreciate that as well. So for Mr. Rudy Campos, I am Jeff Garcia, and now you're in focus with Spurs in Focus.